What is going on, fellas? If you're on the West Coast and you are psycho enough to be watching this football game, more power to you. Daniel Jones, not a good quarterback, as we all know. Malik Neighbors, kind of frustrating knowing how good he is, but he has to play for this offense. Tyrone Tracy and Chuba Hubbard doing their things, which is nice. So if you have those guys going, I'm sure you're excited right now. But as always, we're going to go through as many questions as we can, go through some starts and sits. Hopefully, let's try and, Danny, get through as many as we can on the site so we can get to some free ones today. I'm going to make that a personal goal that we're able to get to some free ones today. But as always, if you guys do want to skip the line, do want to get your question answered, the first link in the description of this live stream says ask a. You can follow that link.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, you cut out for a second there. But we go on to the first trade here from Johnny Tsunami. He says his running backs are Devon Achane, Jalen Warren, his receivers are AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Jawan Jennings, and McMillan. So basically what he's trying to get at is he needs wide receiver pretty bad, and still has guys like Achane, Warren if he were to give up both backs. Now, again, I would want more context here. Like, are you a winning position type of team? Are you 6-3? Are you 5-4 at the very minimum? Because if you are, I do really like the upside of getting Pacheco. It's just, I don't know, like Swift's coming off a bunch of good performances. The thing that scares me is that his schedule is going to get a lot tougher going forward.
Yeah,
I would need a better running back than Swift. That's where I'm at with it.
I don't think this is a bad offer. Like, I think Swift and Chase Brown, like I prefer Chase Brown, but I think you could convince me that Swift and him are at least comparable in the deal to the point that you can maybe make that a wash. And then Puka and Pacheco again, I think it's a fair trade. I think it's a fair trade overall. I just kind of worry about Pacheco. I think the Chiefs are not incentivized to put him on the field before he's ready. They're obviously Super Bowl aspiration type of team. As much as I would love to say, oh yeah, Pacheco's gonna be back in 2 weeks and be a workhorse of this team, like, they're not skipping a beat with Kareem Hunt right now. There's no incentive to rush Pacheco back from a real NFL standpoint. So that's what makes me nervous about just, you talked about it. Go trade for Pacheco if you have a winning record. I'm a lot more apprehensive about trading for Pacheco right now.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I mean, like, I think it's free upside, like, if you're in a winning position, but you have to be in a winning position first and foremost. Like, you have to be willing to accept the risk that comes with that reward. And the risk would be, a potential couple games that you would lose. Like, if you're 5-4, even like if you have a strong 5-4 team, that's why I say 5-4 is the cutoff. If you have a very strong 5-4 team, like top 2 in points in your league, maybe got a little unlucky, that's one thing. But it's like, if you're like 4-5 and you're scraping wins, there's no need to go out and get Pacheco and inherit that.
I would need to legit be 9-0 or 8-1 to trade for Pacheco. I'm not even kidding. Like, I would need to have a monster advantage to the point that I could drop games.
He's expected to go into. He's expected to be back in 2 weeks. So even if you're 7-2 and you drop 2 games, that's 7-4, and you're still in a playoff spot.
Yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, how many weeks is it until he's usable for fantasy? And also, the
week after he comes back,
the depth of the league also matters too. Like, if you're in a 10-man league or something like that, and you have a shit ton of depth, then sure, take a swing on Pacheco.
If you're in a 12-man start 9, there's a difference. But he does say this is a 12-man start 7 as well. So this is what, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. So like,
yeah, no, that's.
But then you could also argue that Gibbs and Brown gain value in that format as well. So
they do. I personally look at it as you have 2
I'd probably just hold if I'm overthinking
very capable assets right now. Yeah. Why undergo the risk of Puka Nacua and Isaiah Pacheco in this trade? To me, it's just Gibbs and Chase Brown are the better option.
Malik Neighbors is down.
Oof. Yeah, he kind of got popped there.
Oh, sorry. I had to react because what the fuck?
Are we on the Gibbs and Brown side of this trade to close out this conversation?
Yes.
Here? Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just looked over. That just pissed me off.
I think he's okay. Looks like he's fine.
Fucking Christ. He looks pissed.
Superplex has a question here. Okay, I don't even have to answer this. What? How are you getting Tyreek for this?
Dude, what? Tyreek?
I would give 4 Cedric Tillmans for Tyreek.
Add on 4 Tolberts, too.
Yeah, this is very, very... Like, look at the difference here. You got wide receiver 3 in my rest of season rankings versus 38. And I actually think I'm relatively high on Tillman regards to some people. And then 57 for Tolbert. And honestly, 57, I might need to move him down. Since the Dak injury too. Like, he's pretty much.
I mean, 57 is where he should have been with the Dak injury. 57.
I don't know.
57 before Dak got hurt is faded, by the way.
When is Tolbert a guy that you feel comfortable starting outside of a desperation flex?
He's been like a top 35 wide receiver in like the last month.
Sure,
What are we
with
talking
Prescott.
about? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You said you ranked him there with Prescott. I think that's faded. Now
No,
that's
I moved
fine.
him. I moved him down since the Dak
Okay.
injury. I probably should move him down more because when I moved him
Fair.
down, it was like Dak was going to be out a couple weeks, and now they
Yeah.
might shut him down for the season, kind of thing.
I thought you said you moved him to 57 with the knowledge that Dak was on the field. That's why I'm like, dude, that is faded. If
No,
you had
no,
him
he
there.
probably would have been a little higher than that. Anyways, Tyreek
A
very
little
easily
higher.
on that side of the trade. Demarcus Robinson, Shepard, Tolbert on waivers still. So it looks like flex decisions here
Yep,
for
look.
Michael. So you got Mostert, Ray Davis, Jane Reed's on bye. Collins is going to play. So Collins, or at least he's expected to play. Does he have a pivot
questionable? He's a questionable. He's not expected.
He has a pivot option to Mostert though, which is nice because Mostert plays Monday.
Hey, sorry, I will reframe that because people are watching. Collins is officially listed as questionable. He was activated off of injury reserve. He was activated in his practice window, practice on Friday, but they still listed him as questionable. Again, he should play. He got activated on Saturday. Why would you activate him if he's not playing? But at the same time, they didn't go back on their questionable tag. So it is still a risk that he would sit.
Yeah, you're right. But Rappaport said that he was expected to play. So
recently,
yesterday it was set.
He edited that. He edited that.
He did. Yeah, he did edit that, but he did say he's expected to play, which means he must have gotten some kind of insight from the Texans camp.
But he basically so you're saying there's like some like hidden there. Okay. Like he probably got told to change it because they didn't want that info out, is what you're
potentially
saying.
Yeah. In either case, you play Collins here, you have a pivot to Mostert if you need it. That means you can't use Mostert though, primarily in this situation though, right?
I mean, yeah, that would be the issue here, and I actually really do like Raheem Mostert in this game environment.
I think you just play Keenan Allen though, knowing that you can't pivot.
Well, yeah, you play Keenan or you play Ray Davis there. Also, can we stop giving Singletary touches? Like, fuck off. Like, no.
I think you definitely have to play this Keenan and Collins because if you play Mostert and Collins and Mostert is out, or Collins is out, sorry, you won't have a pivot option on Monday to go to. So I think I'd rather sacrifice. Like, what's the difference between Keenan Allen and Raheem Mostert projection wise? Probably not a huge difference.
I mean, like for what it's worth, I think it's even a combo between Davis and Allen, but like Davis would be your upside shot. I don't disagree putting Allen in there for a safe projection.
Yeah, in full PPR, man, like Ray Davis has been a 5 to 8 touch guy. Like in full PPR, Keenan Allen can have a solid floor game for you on 4 or 5 catches.
For sure. By the way, with Neighbors out and Singletary taking Tracy touches, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, that's really irritating, to be honest.
Neighbors landed on his face. Sorry, I have 2 Giants players I'm relying upon in the Flock League, which isn't fun.
Which is why I've been telling you stop relying on the Giants. You got to trade me one of them.
Why do you think I traded Wandale for a bag of biscuits? That's fucking Xavier Worthy. I just didn't want to support 3 Giants.
Malik Neighbors is being evaluated for a concussion according to Underdog NFL. Good Lord. My whole my listener league team didn't Tracy just fumble that. My whole listener league team receiver core is like Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Malik Neighbors. They're all just like hurt. Anyways, Josh has this trade here. Dynasty 2 quarterback, 12 team start 9. Garrett Wilson and a third for T. Higgins and Jonathan Brooks.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, this is Wilson, man. I mean,
comfortably.
With this pre-Chuba extension, would this have been Brooks and Higgins?
With how Garrett Wilson's playing now.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Garrett Wilson is playing like a fringe top 5 dynasty wide receiver in the last month. Since Devontae's come over.
Don't rub it
in. Yeah, fuck. Since Devontae's
I have
come
tons
over.
Of dynasty bags of him, so I'm still cool. And I drafted a shit ton of them on Underdog as well, but trading him to bdge for Madison, DJ Moore, and Calvin Ridley hasn't aged super well.
Who said it at the time?
I don't disagree that it was probably a trade that I lost, but I really didn't have a choice. I was 3 and 5, and I needed a running back that week, and I had to play Madison. And he actually had a good game, and so did Ridley that game. So I needed.
Madison did nothing against me.
He had like 9 points, which is more than I was getting from my running backs prior to that.
He went like 14 carries for 15 yards. He had 9 points.
No, that was last week that he had a shit game.
Against me, he had a shit game, bro.
3.6 points. He had 9.4 points against you. He did 14 carries for 15 yards, but you're forgetting 5 receptions for 29 yards.
Yeah, so he's just urine at football, but they force feed him because the other guy's also urine.
I still think that he's going to have to be my RB2 until some of these other guys, like coming out of the bye next week, like who's a better running back option on a projection?
Dude, let's
basis
keep the stream family friendly. Christ.
I know. It's gross, man. I'm so down bad at running back.
Neighbors coming back.
Clenching their pearls on the running back position in our league. There you go. Neighbors coming back. But yeah, Josh, that's the Garrett Wilson side of things. Jerry here. Wide receiver decision. Mooney or Jennings. This is very easily Mooney.
Mooney all day, baby. Dude, Mooney, I think, is my wide receiver 16 this week.
I have him at 18, so yeah, not a close decision. I mean,
also going forward, going forward, make sure if you have a guy on Thursday night, he's not in that flex spot. Even if he's like your flex player, you want him.
I know it looks gross when you have like, Kyron Williams occupying your flex or whatever, but like, trust me, it's the smart play in case you get because what happened if you had Amari Cooper as your wide receiver right now, then you would need to pivot off of Amari Cooper, who was just recently ruled inactive. So you kind of have to pay attention to that there.
Tackle him. No.
What? Did DJ score that? Oh, that's devastating. We needed that. I wanted that Tracy touchdown too. Fucking Daniel Jones. Devastating. Only fantasy football makes you tilt a Carolina Panthers New York Giants game if you are not a Carolina Panthers or New York Giants fan.
I'm disgusted right now.
I
have to watch fucking 55 chase points on Thursday Night Football for that? Sorry.
Yeah.
I am going to be live tilting stream. Apologies. I'll try to hold it back a little bit. But when you have stock in the Giants freaking doing anything and they go out and put 14 points on Carolina, it's pretty freaking annoying.
So I was feeling frisky today, and I put $2.50 on just picking the winner of every game on this slate, and I did actually pick the Giants, so I could handle them. I don't want that whole parlay to fall apart on 9:30 a.m. kickoff. It would be nice if they can pull this one out.
It's just updated it. I see on my DAZN fucking Daniel Jones 26 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown now.
Hey, you know what? I do have Daniel Jones in Flock Me Silly, so I will take that.
That was a tilt. Also, you lucked out, but Andrew, Neighbors on your bench going into the week was the most faded thing I've ever seen in a text.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, it's worked out for you, but holy.
Why is Sleeper making me have a heart attack here saying Trevor Lawrence is out and he's in your lineup? Like, he's not in any of my lineups. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, actually, no, he's not in my lineup, but thank you for letting me know.
Like, I set all my lineups before we went live, and it's starting to, like, he must be on one of my best ball dynasty teams or whatever in the lineup.
The thing is, too, it tweaks you out, too, because it's like, you set your lineup, but you're already fucking panicking because you want to make sure that you set it perfectly. I got you.
Yeah, and we're in 16 leagues, and we're on a live stream right now, so I can't sit here and go through every single league and look for it.
Running back consideration, Breece Hall or Devon Achane? That's what you're... What?
I mean, Achane is the answer for me this week, but Breece will find his way into the flex.
Against Arizona, I have Breece higher.
This is an insane decision point.
What is this?
Garrett?
I mean, they're all playing, yeah. Garrett, and then put Breece in the flex.
That's insane, dude. That's insane.
Dude, can you share some players with your other league mates?
Yeah, can you send me... Dude, I would love one of these running backs on my Flock League team.
Real 10-team league. I love how he added real just to let us know how dumb his league mates are.
Yeah, you have buffoon league mates, my man. I mean, you could talk me into Drake London now that he's healthy, or Puka over Wilson, but yeah, I think you got to go with Wilson there.
Yeah, dude, Wilson's my wide receiver 4 this week.
Yeah, I love him this week. Unfortunately, I'm just sad all around because I traded him in the Flock League. But it's DJ Moore bounce back week. This is going to be the week that DJ actually
not against Gonzo. It's going to be
Gonzo's been horrible this year. He's been bad, dude. He's been objectively bad. The fucking Patriots are like 28th against number ones. He's been shit.
Because they have
He's
no
really
other
been shit,
corners.
I'm telling you right now.
All right,
Garrett fucking
sure.
wiped the floor with him the second time they played.
What happened in the first matchup?
The second time they played, he wiped the floor with him.
What happened in the first matchup?
Okay, he got him the first time. Gonzalez has not been good in shadow coverage, dude. He's been terrible in shadow coverage.
Right. Sure. I mean, the whole Patriots secondary sucks. I don't think it's Gonzalez.
Yeah, and anytime he's not on, Gonzalez also DJ can feast. Drake London, Devontae Smith, Tyrone Tracy Jr., and Lamb. Okay, so unfortunately we did not get to Tracy in time, but hopefully he played him because he did have a good performance. And he said sit one, London, Smith, Tracy, and Lamb. So I would have actually told you to sit Tracy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you played him, which means you're sitting Lamb, I guess.
Smith. What?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying he has Lamb sitting in the lineup at the moment.
Okay. I thought you were saying sit Lamb. I'm like, what?
Is it bad if I say I'm still sitting Lamb?
You're not sitting Lamb over Devontae. Come on. You're not. AJ Brown's playing.
I don't know, man.
You're not doing it.
You're not doing it. No, you're probably
AJ Brown's playing. You're not doing it. Come on.
Yeah, you're probably
let's fucking relax.
I do think that the Eagles might just completely boat race you guys and put up a shit ton of points, and Smith can get there.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, even in the fucking times that either of our teams are completely wiped out with injury, Cowboys Eagles is always a relatively close game. I'm telling you right now,
7.5 is way too many points.
Well, I think first and foremost, I don't think the Eagles are going to score 25.5 because with Micah back, I think it's actually going to be a slower paced game.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be like a 20
right now. So
like, I think legitimately it's going to be like a 2013, 2017 type of game. The only issue is like, if you can get it at 7.5, I think that's a good bet. But if it's like 7, that's where the line is kind of weird for me. But like, don't get me wrong. I think we're going to lose, but like, I think it's going to be like a low scoring kind of like 2013, 21-17 type of game.
Yeah, to me, I bet on the 4 best spreads of the week. I thought these were the 4 best, so I bet on them. I got Atlanta and New Orleans going under 46.5. I just don't see a world where New Orleans puts up more than 10 points, to be honest.
So
that would mean Atlanta would
have, I think Atlanta could do that on their own.
They could, but if New Orleans is just like, a complete no-show, I could see Atlanta winning that game 31-10. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's a very good point. And like you said, and I just talked about it in the Cowboys. Even if the Saints look terrible right now, like that's the type of pride game that you keep it close in, regardless.
Yeah.
So like, even though I just mentioned Atlanta could do that on their own. It's like more than likely, as much as I like the Atlanta players this week, they're not going to go out there and have 30 plus points because it never really happens where you see 2 competitive teams with a rivalry actually have that type of game happen. Realistically, like look at rivalries across the league. Like what? The only rivalry we can expect that from is when the Cowboys face the Giants most times.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys against Carolina,
the Saints and Bucks. Usually the scores are pretty lopsided in
either
either direction.
Oh, that looked bad.
What happened?
He just got twisted up on bad.
Oh my god.
That's a hip. Is
Jonathan Brooks about to win people leagues?
I hope so.
That's crazy.
I mean, I feel awful for fucking Chuba. I was just saying he was probably playing like a fringe top 5 running back this year, dude.
Oh, dude, he's grabbing his knee, bro.
Dude, he got hip dropped and twisted back on it.
That also, I mean, thank God he signed that extension, but
he saved himself.
That sucks.
Wow. Man. No, I feel awful for him, dude. Like, not even because I have a Brooks bag. Like, that's not why I'm saying this. Like, dude, he was legitimately playing completely different football this year.
He was a Pro Bowl running back this year, for sure.
He might have been an all-pro running back, dude. He's been phenomenal. Maybe not all-pro because like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley exist, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said he's a Pro Bowl running back.
No, I mean, has he been like the 3rd to 5th best pure runner in the league this year?
In the NFC, for sure, you can make the argument he's top 3 running back in the NFC. I also like the Vikings to just beat the living daylights out of Jacksonville and cover 7 points.
Dude,
with Mac Jones at quarterback, that one's not going to be close in my opinion. I like Buffalo to beat Indianapolis by more than 4, so they're only 4-point favorites against Indianapolis. I think
that Buffalo one might be a trap line.
They're the type of team, to be honest, though, that Buffalo, when they play an inferior team, they beat the brakes off of them by 30. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of team Buffalo is. And then Kansas City, I like them to cover 7.5 against Denver because it's in Kansas City. Like, what matchup does Denver have against Kansas City that's advantageous?
Their cornerbacks against Kansas City's receivers.
I look at it, I'm like, dude, Cortland Sutton won't do anything against the Kansas City secondary. Javonte Williams will not be able to move running the ball.
Let me counter that a little bit. I agree that the Chiefs secondary, like in terms of real life, like they're going to limit the overall efficiency. But for fantasy specifically, I still think Sutton's a strong top 30 level play because, dude, he has been getting peppered. Tracy gets brought down in the backfield.
Hubbard is wearing his helmet still.
Damn. Okay. Fair enough. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like an MCL sprain or something like that.
Yeah. That looks scary when I first saw it.
That looked like an ACL tear at first. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. He blew his knee out in college. No.
He just had a terrible second. So he had the breakout year. Then he had a bad year the year he was coming out, I believe.
But didn't he
he stayed back in school?
Didn't he have an injury that he was dealing with his final year?
Maybe like an MCL sprain. Nothing like
I think he had an ankle injury or something.
Probably an ankle sprain. Also, let's see this play. We're seeing a double mug. Look, they're bringing heat. Jones, get to your... Oh, my God. Jones, what are we doing, brother?
He's doing a lot of things wrong today. But anyways, we set Jelenius.
Sorry, one thing.
Lineup here.
He throws it contested to the flats on a money down. Sorry, I got to get that off. They went for it on fourth, and that's what happened. Okay.
Yep. So let's get back to some regular questions here. Again, if you guys do want to skip the line, you guys know what to do. It is starred in the chat right now. You can go to flockfantasy.com. You can ask us a question by going to, I'll actually quickly show you guys how you do it, just so you can see it. If you go here and you go down to the bottom or onto the side here and you hit personal advice or expert advice, you can go team review, trade questions, start sit questions, super message, whatever. And you can ask us a question that way. And we will have you skip the line as we've been doing for a lot of these questions so far. But we are going to go to the top of the live stream where we started here. Rolando was the first one in here. He said, I'm a massive underdog, got killed by Chase on Thursday Night Football. Do I wait for Tyreek Hill or do I just play Lad McConkey?
So what I'm hearing is Tyreek is a true questionable. By the way, Chu was back in the game. Tyreek is a true questionable. He did not practice Friday or Saturday. Tyreek himself, basically like the vibe that I got, sounds like he's going to try to go. The thing that really concerns me, though, is even if he does go, is it going to be limited snaps? It is a wrist injury. Like, that's obviously very important to the wide receiver position. And Lad, to me, is a strong enough play that I'm cool missing out on Tyreek if it came down to it.
Here's why I disagree.
Why?
You already are getting killed by Chase.
Good point.
You need Tyreek stealing.
Good point.
You need Tyreek stealing, unfortunately.
I'm not going to lie. I completely missed over the first part of I'm a massive underdog. That Chase context, go Hill. If you're in an even circumstance, 50% win equity, or even if you're in a 60-40 situation, though, I would go McConkey. So for those of you that are watching right now, if you are in this position and it's a close matchup, PPR leagues, like I would actually go McConkey because the Titans, I brought up this stat before, but other than the weeks they played against Malik Willis and Tyler Huntley, number one in opponent pass rate over expectation against them. So again, this situation, because you're down big, go Hill. You need the upside straight up. So yeah.
Plus, you can, I mean, if Hill does get ruled out late, you could probably pick up, OBJ or Malik Washington, worst case scenario. Maybe Demarcus Robinson's available on the waiver wire or something like that. But yeah, I think you got to wait on Hill in your spot, Rolando. Mitchell says start 3 wide receivers: Jawan Jennings, Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell, Khalil Shakir, and I think that's DJ Moore, I'm assuming. Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell, and Shakir to me are probably the best plays here. If that's DJ Moore that you're talking about.
Yeah, Wilson, Dell, Shakir for sure for me.
Without Cooper and without Coleman, Shakir is the top 20 receiver for me this week.
Yeah, which I will actually knock him up a few ratings. When I did my wide receiver show, he was where was he? He was 22, I believe, for me, and that was with the knowledge that Cooper was a questionable. But with Cooper officially ruled out, I'm going to tinker with it right now. So he was currently 26 technically, because obviously the will they play guys kind of factored in there. I would take him over Ladd. I'd take him over Waddle. I'd take him over Tyreek right now. Take him over Hopkins. Him or Downs is where I'm really close right now.
Oh, I would easily play Shakir over Downs. Downs, the slot receiver position against Buffalo is like -5 PPR points over expected. They've been really good against slot receivers.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I will say though, he has gotten a 27% target share and no Michael Pittman. Like Steichen's one of those offense coordinators that I think can scheme him out of those situations.
Probably, yeah.
So I will put Shakir over Downs because that's good context, but he landed at 21 for me. Now the difference is I would still like Dell's there. Nico I have at 19 right now, assuming you have a pivot. Terry McLaurin, George Pickens, Darnell Mooney. Like I think that's probably around the
I'm
fair
at
range
18 right now. I have Shakir
Yeah.
inside my top 20. I have him over Dell. I have him over Brian Thomas Jr. I have him over
Brian
Pickens.
Thomas, yeah, with
I have
no
him over
Lawrence, I'll
Pickens
move
as
down.
well. Like I think he's a very, very strong bet to get 7, 8, 9, 10 targets this week. Khalil Shakir from Josh Allen in a matchup against a defense that's very exploitable.
No, I moved Brian Thomas down. That is another point with the Trevor Lawrence shoulder, which actually I brought it up at the beginning of the week. Remember when I said, like, even when it wasn't being reported, I'm like, dude, I think Trevor Lawrence can get season-ending like shoulder surgery.
Not good. Not good. I mean, shut him down, honestly. Like, you're going to fire Doug Peterson anyways. Shut him down. Get a young offensive mind in there to work with Lawrence. It's an attractive job opening. Like, you have talented receivers. You have talented quarterback who's on a big contract. You have 2 good running backs. You have,
How would you rank
you have a good team.
How would you rank the potential job openings that are coming up? Like, I'm trying to think of the.
Okay, so how many do we have right now? Confirmed.
Well, okay, so we won't include teams that are like 500 or something. Obviously, again, maybe they have a disappointing end.
And the Jets have already fired their coach. Or
Peterson,
sorry, not Jacksonville. The Jets, have already fired their coach, and the Saints have already fired their coach.
The Giants could fire Daboll again, maybe not though, because they all kind of recognize that.
If they fire Daboll, they're fucking stupid.
They're faded.
If Daboll goes to Jacksonville and works with Trevor Lawrence and those weapons, he would be a great fit there. To be honest, maybe Giants fans feel differently about Daboll, but like, he doesn't have a fucking quarterback, man.
I agree.
And what it's 2 years ago, and like for the last 2 years, he hasn't had any receiving talent until this season.
So let's go through the teams that are currently under 500 that are probably going to open like a job. Giants, maybe not. Patriots, probably not. I think they're going to stick with Mayo at least for another year.
Yeah.
Saints already fired Dennis Allen. Like, they're automatically going to go to the bottom.
They're easily the worst landing spot ever.
Like, who the fuck actually wants to go there? Let's be for real. Also, Jesus Christ, Daniel Jones had neighbors wide open on a drag.
Random defensive coordinator who had a good year is getting the Saints job. Let's be honest here. It's going to be like, who's had a good year?
Jesse Minter, baby.
No,
Chargers.
Somebody who's like getting media attention though. Like, I'm trying to think.
Like Steve Aaron Glenn,
Steve Spagnuolo, somebody like that is going to get the fucking Saints job.
Damn, Clowney's on the ground. He had a cool hit in college. I don't know why I said that. Anyways. But Saints bottom, Raiders look close to the bottom, but like
they're firing him. There's no way they're going to stick with Pierce.
I agree, but in terms of like where that job would rank, close to the bottom, but I don't think it's like
probably have a high pick and a young quarterback maybe that you're working with. It's not a terrible opening. You have Bowers, you have, some talent there.
Jaguars, one of the top of the list, I think. Carolina, I don't think they fired.
Dallas is going to fire McCarthy as well.
I agree. I would honestly say Dallas would be the one team above Jacksonville so far that we've gone through.
I mean, Dallas, because of the market, I think is going to be above Jacksonville for sure.
Well, dude, especially too, because they're going to get healthy in the offseason. They're going to probably have a 3rd or 4th place schedule, and they're probably going to have a top 5 to 10 pick. Dallas.
And here I think Danny's going to be all on board. The 3 best teams of the NFC are the 49ers, the Lions, and the Cowboys. It's going to be right out of his mouth this offseason. I guarantee it's coming.
I think as a coach, the only thing keeping you from the Cowboys job would be Jerry Jones, to be honest. Because I think from a roster perspective, from a market perspective, from an offensive potential perspective, like, again, right now, season's lost. But I'm telling you, like, if they get like maybe like a Mason Graham or if the Cowboys somehow got Travis Hunter, like,
he's gonna go first, man. I think he's gonna.
That's a good point. Probably will. I mean, Ted McMillan, Luther Burden. I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah, I don't think Burden. I think Burden is the guy that every year the fantasy community likes more than the NFL.
I love him though.
I think that Burden is going to go in like the late 1st round, which is scary as fuck because he could go to a really. But
good team. We watched him though. Like it wasn't.
I know
he's
a great player. He's having a bad year though, and NFL teams like always overvalue the final year production for college prospects.
There is some context there though, is that his quarterback situation regressed big time since last year.
It has, but like NFL teams do that though. Like if you have a great sophomore year, people don't always, just to throw away your final season, which they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I feel like Burden should still be a top 10 to 15 pick, and he probably won't be. I think he'll be like a 20s pick.
Yeah. Also, again, Jared, I see this. I love Ashton Genty. I love him with all my heart.
He's gonna go in the top 10 of the draft. I'm calling it right now, and it might be to you guys. You are the most logical landing spot.
The only way I would write it off taking a running back in the top 10 in this class would be if we had Ben Johnson. If he wants to take fucking Ashton Genty, take Ashton Genty. Go nuts. If we hire anybody else, no, like draft the defensive lineman, draft the corner, draft Ted McMillan, Luther Burden, draft Travis Hunter if he won't fall, but like, you know what I mean? Draft one of the blue chip talents at positions of need. Because like, do we need a running back? Sure. It's probably like 10th on our list of needs because like there's more important positions.
There's also 15 running backs that can play in this class. You can probably get Devin Neal in the 5th round, and he's literally rushes for 100 yards every game.
And on top of that, if you really wanted just the anchor running back, again, I do think Ashton Genty's tier of his own, but like if you wanted an anchor running back, just take one of Judkins, Hampton, or Caleb Johnson at the beginning of the 2nd round.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So we probably have more site comments, right?
I'm looking right now. I don't think we do.
Okay.
So Thrill Shot here is the next question. He said, just got to say this is the worst year I've ever had in fantasy, and this is the first year I've actually done research before the year. Injuries have killed me. I feel you, dude. My injury bug is I've never had an injury bug like this in my home league. I'm 3-6 right now because my whole team is just banged up every single game. But it's unfortunate because I feel like a lot of the takes I had were like actually pretty accurate for the most part, but the injuries have killed me in that league. And it goes to show that my takes have been good because generally every other league that I'm in is doing well. It's just the leagues that I care most about, the flock league and my home league, I'm 4-5 and 3-6. Like it's annoying that those are the two leagues that are, the ones I care the most about.
Well, so in my home league, I was 4-3 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago, I had George Pickens non-toe tap basically cost me the matchup because I lost by 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then last week, I lost by, I already told you the situation, 1.5 points, and Xavier Worthy and Puka Nacua combined for 1.1.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So I'm 4-5 now.
Puka Nacua had 1.1 points, less than 1 point last.
He had 2.1, and Worthy had -1.
Oh, right, fair. That's not great.
Injury and I faced Chase on Thursday night in that league, so not fun.
Daniel Jones making the Panthers defense look like the 85 Bears. Pick 1, Downs, BTJ, Devontae Smith. Also have Nico.
Yes. You have Nico?
So you can't. I don't think you can afford to wait for Nico here. You just got to play Smitty for me.
Is there any pivot options you have for Nico? Because
these guys all play. These guys all play
also worth knowing, I didn't even see Devontae Smith. He's too good to sit, regardless. Like
Danny, a worldwide battle. Danny and reading the questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, Smith.
It's always the last guy that I just breeze over.
Yeah. Rob John says, need one for flex PPR. Kincaid, Bucky, Irving, Quentin Johnson. I'd be playing Kincaid, dude. In full PPR without Coleman and fucking Cooper, I'd be playing Kincaid.
Yeah.
He'll probably catch 7 passes for 44 yards.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably going to get there in PPR, though. So, and he might score. He's scored touchdowns this year. So,
nah, yeah, I get the best comp for Dalton Kincaid. Why is he just the fucking Wan'Dale Robinson of tight ends?
He totally is. Rick Neighbors, Danny Dimes, no excuses today. This will be, again, another good buying window for Malik Neighbors. Unfortunately, you have to buy into the Giants, but it will be a good buying window for him, I think. Should I play Stroud, Stafford, Baker? I would be playing Stroud knowing that Collins is potentially expected to play, and you have Stafford pivot if he isn't. I would be going Stroud there for me.
I think those are the two options, and I completely forgot that Stafford is actually one of the few quarterbacks that plays after him. So yeah, just do that.
Yeah, he's the only, other than Tua, he's the only other quarterback that plays after him. And then Dell or Shakir, they're really close in my rankings, dude. I have Shakir slightly higher. But if this is the same league and you're playing Dell and you wanted to go Stroud Dell for the stack, I'd be fine doing that.
I have Dell technically one spot higher, but also because you have to make the decision beforehand, I'm going to make that change because if you have like a pivot option, like if you had like a Jalen Waddle, if Tyreek didn't play, that would be one thing because I would wait on Dell because if Nico was out, he'd be probably a top 12 to 15 receiver. But yeah, I agree.
I mean, I still think because I have Dell still as a top 22 play, even expecting Collins to play. Like, I
Well,
still think he's that
Collins
good.
makes the offense better, and that's why you'd be
Exactly.
targeting
So
Dell.
that's why I'm like, you have Stroud. I'm just going to play Dell, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though I love Shakira this week too.
No, I feel you on that. By the way, I just gotta point this out, Jared. They could very well draft Genty in the top 10, and trust me, like the player himself is worth it. But at the same time, like I feel like everybody's just kind of assuming they will be the team that drafts Genty because they need a running back. When this is the same team that drafted Ezekiel Elliott over Jalen Ramsey, and I've seen how that played out. So, like, maybe that dissuades
from their
them from doing
perspective,
it.
Danny, I think you're adamantly wrong because I think they
Why?
would view Ezekiel Elliott as a good draft pick. If you ask Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones right now, would you if you ask them,
I
are you guys
disagree.
happy that you picked Ezekiel Elliott over Jalen Ramsey? I bet you $1 million fucking Jerry Jones would be like, oh, Ezekiel was a great back for us for so long.
Maybe they would say that to the media behind closed circles. There's no fucking chance you can there's no chance you can persuade yourself of that.
Dude, you're talking about trying to explain positional value to a guy who's in his 80s, bro. There's no way he would not take Ezekiel Elliott if faced with that decision again, knowing the results.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Ramsey was always the pick, but anyways.
Yeah, I wanted Ramsey that year too. Instead, we got fucking Vernon Hargraves.
Was Mark Barron the year? No, Mark Barron was 2012.
2012. That was way before.
Right? Yeah. No,
2016, we took the two worst picks in franchise history: Vernon Hargraves and fucking Roberto Aguayo in the first 2 rounds. It's the worst draft we've ever had in the history of the franchise.
Didn't you have like a 4-year stretch of taking like 3 DBs in the first round, or am I tripping?
We took Barron in 2012.
Hargraves, and there was one other. We
traded our pick for
Revis. Yeah, that's what it was.
In 14, we took Evans. In 15, we took Jameis. So it wasn't like a huge stretch of us.
2016, sorry.
2011, we took Claiborne. So that was a defensive lineman. 2010, we took McCoy.
Wow, Claiborne was... Why did I think Claiborne was 2010?
No, it was Gerald McCoy that we took in 2010.
Right. Didn't you have 2 firsts, or am I tripping?
In 2011? Oh, yeah, you're right. We did. Yeah, in 2011, I think we took... who was it? It's someone shit. 2011.
If you can't remember him, usually it is.
It's someone bad.
It's a DT, no?
Yeah. Who?
It was a defensive tackle, or am I tripping? No, you took McCoy,
no,
right?
Who was it? We took Claiborne in 2011, but we might have had 2 picks. Oh, no. So 2012, we had 2 picks. We took Doug Martin at the end of the first round, and we took Mark Barron with the first pick. That's what it was.
Yeah. Barron at what, 11 overall, I believe, because he slipped a little bit.
32, I think, is when we took Martin.
And now you got Martin the pick after Doug Wilson, I believe, went off the board. Who Doug Wilson, if he had never gotten hurt, would have been a stud.
Yeah.
Or David Wilson, not Doug Wilson. David Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah. Wasn't Jonathan Baldwin like also in that draft? Or that was at 11. That was 11, I think.
Jonathan Baldwin was 2011. AJ Jenkins was 2011, and they got flipped. They got traded for each other after the year. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I believe Baldwin was like a high second, and AJ Jenkins was like the 31st pick. And the following year, the Niners and the Chiefs just said, "Yeah, you just want to swap our bus? Like, fuck it."
Yeah, that would be like in modern day terms. That would be like if
Laviska Shenault got traded for insert first round bus receiver.
Yeah, Jalen Reagor and Laviska Shenault got swapped.
Yeah. I would take Shenault. At least he gives you some.
Daboll going to get the boot, and Giants take Shedeur. I think it would be malpractice of the Giants to fire Brian Daboll. I think what you do is you get rid of the fucking quarterback and you let Daboll pick his quarterback. Because to me, that he's a good coach. Like if the Giants fire Daboll and the Bucks were to fire Todd Bowles and we lost Liam Cohen or something like that, I would hire Daboll in a second as a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. But I also think if we fire Bowles, they'll promote Cohen.
Wait a minute. Abraham, you better not be fucking with me right now.
Yeah, Neighbors just caught a big... Oh, no. Incomplete.
No way.
Hit the ground. That would have been a bomb, though. That was like a 50-yard play, I think. What else do we got?
Are you sure it was a drop?
Yeah, hit the ground first.
Why am I behind you then? I'm on... Oh, dude, there's a back to live button. I'm faded.
Devontae Smith would be my answer to that one, Reese, over Tank Dell.
Did the ball bobble? I didn't see the ball bobble, or maybe I'm just fucking biased.
You could be biased. I have Lions defense debating now that Nico might be back. Steelers, Commanders, and Bills and Falcons are all available.
Also worth noting, by the way, Lions actually are a really good play next week. I believe they play the Jaguars. I'm pretty sure
They do, but the Falcons are a much better play this week against New Orleans. Go grab Atlanta's defense.
But I'm saying, like, if you go get back the Lions defense for next week, I believe they play the Jaguars. I'm not faded for that, am I?
I think so. Yeah, I think they do.
I know they play a bad offense.
From Hickey Son. Appreciate that, Hickey. Does he have any questions anywhere? Maybe we can skip to those.
Appreciate it.
I don't think I see any. And again, if you guys do want to skip the line, you can fire them over onto Flock. That is pinned in the chat right
I don't see any members' comments right now.
No, I think we're good. But I'll go back down to where I left off here.
Dude, I would love for a field goal in overtime or a game-winning Malik or Tracy touchdown.
Bills or Rams defense? I want the Bills defense. I ain't fucking with the Dolphins offense.
Dude, I actually picked up the Rams defense in the Flock League because if Tyreek doesn't play, I think their offense is currently broken.
Maybe, but I would much rather play. I would much rather go against Joe Flacco and the Colts without Pittman.
I agree here. I was just saying it because I literally dropped the Niners defense for the Rams defense. And part of the reason too is seeing how you guys looked without your receivers and how Cone adjusted the game plan to featuring White, featuring Auden to supplement your receiving production. Like I thought the Bucks I thought the Niners would be able to overwhelm you going into it. But seeing how Cone adjusted, I actually think you guys are going to be able to put up a solid offensive day. That's why I made the transition.
Yeah, well, in 2 games without Godwin and Evans, Mayfield's dropped back to pass 82 times. 42 of those plays have gone to either Bucky, Irving, Rashad White, or Kate Auden. They've just been running the offense through those guys. That's like 50% of the offense that they've been since then. But yeah, Hickey Son actually has a question here. He says, need to drop Garendo, Nix, or Mason for a kicker. Garendo, for sure. Mason's fine. He's not injured at all. You don't need to hold both running backs for the 49ers.
He said another 2 out of Downs, Waddle, Odunze, and Dowdle. You have to drop?
I think he's in
to drop. He's got to play. He's got to play.
Got to play 2 of them. Probably Waddle for sure with Tyreek coming in questionable. And then Downs is probably the other one.
Although I will say, so I actually talked about this on the Sneaky Starts video. Now, I wouldn't do it over Downs and Waddle, but people are going to write off Dowdle because obviously they lost Dak. The offensive game environment's not going to be nearly as close as it was going into the week with Dak. They're only projected 18 points. Philadelphia's good against the run. But he ran 61% of the routes last week. And on the year, he has a 22% targets per route run rate. Now you plug in a backup quarterback. I can see a possibility Rico Dowdle has like 6 or 7 targets in this game, and he's a top 20 running back.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's an outrageous take. I had him down at RB 29, I think, in my running back.
I had him like 26 or 27. So
I don't think he's like that great of a play. One PSA I need to get out there right now, speaking of Pittman being out, is AD Mitchell needs to be rostered right now. AD Mitchell might go off today, and he will easily be the #1 waiver ad next week if that happens. So if AD Mitchell is available on your waiver wire, and honestly too, if you just need somebody to play, because you had a last minute injury like Amari Cooper went out or something like that, AD Mitchell is a decent play today because he has been a top 5 wide receiver in average separation.
You mentioned the stat against the slot too.
Top 5 in ESPN open score this year. He has like 32% targets per route run rate on the season. He's going to get routes. That's what's been his problem all season long. So him getting routes, he could definitely get some targets in this game.
Also, inshallah, the Giants score a field goal here, take it to overtime, and then one of Tracy or Neighbors wins it for them. Or preferably like 7 catches, Neighbors drive, and then Tracy punches it in. That would be great.
I'll take the punch in for Tracy, but I don't want Neighbors getting any points because in my home league, I played against Chase, and we have big play bonuses all over the place. So Chase went for 60 on me. Yeah. But the guy who I'm playing has Neighbors who's not really playing that well, and I have Tracy. So I'm able to balance the scales a little bit because Tracy had a good game and Neighbors did. And his team isn't very good. He just has Chase.
You know what, then? If that's the case, brother, hear me out. How about we get 5 Tyrone Tracy dump offs and he punches it in for a touchdown?
Yeah, we'll just take all the Tracy points. That would be nice.
I'm not picky.
Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, AD Mitchell, make sure he is rostered in your league because I really do think he's going to have a nice game today. Chad,
wait, did you say you have Theo Johnson or JT Sanders over on the yards?
I had JT Sanders.
Got you, because Theo has 37 right now. So
and JT still has 8.
8. But overtime potentially, knock on wood.
Yeah, no, so the parlay I built out was Chuba to score, who scored. Yep. The under in the game, which is currently hitting. The Neighbors, other one was Tracy to go over 100 yards, which I think total yards is he over 100 or no?
He has 105 rushing.
Okay, so he's over 100 total yards. And then I also had JT Sanders to have 25 plus receiving yards. So that's the only thing that's selling me right now.
How much does it pay?
160 on a $10 bonus bet that I had on my MGM account after not using it for like a year.
It's better than what I do when I see free bets. Do you hear what happened this time when I had a free bet? I had like I want to say I withdrew most of my money and I had like X amount of money left because like I played a little bit on the DraftKings Rocket or whatever, and that's what I was left with on the account. And I had like 50 to $70 somewhere in that range, and I threw it on the Cowboys losing in the divisional round because I'm like, how would it be? This was obviously before Dak and shit got hurt. I'm like, how ironic would it be as if they fucking had a 2018 type of run, everybody got excited, and then they got smoked by the fucking Lions or the fucking Packers or some bullshit in the second round. So like I built that in.
They'd make it out of the wild card round.
Hey, brother, they're not even going to make it to the wild card round. So at least that bet is dead now, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm so confident that AD Mitchell will have a good game today that I'm literally going to put money down on him having like 50 plus receiving yards or something, because I just think he's going to have a good game.
Are you the one who picked him up in the Flock League when I dropped him?
Yes, that's correct.
Fair enough. Yeah, unfortunately, I've been left in a little bit of a pickle because I couldn't roster him over my receivers I currently have because I might have needed someone to play.
Here, here's what we're gonna do, fellas. We're gonna have some fun. Sorry, they just hit a field goal. We didn't actually commentate on that. It's overtime in this game. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put down a 3-leg parlay of a player who's like lesser known who's going off today. It's not gonna be high end guys. 80 minutes.
Are you talking yards or touchdowns?
Yards. I'm going to do 50 plus yards for 3 players who are like, so players.
We're spicy. Let's get them on Underdog.
Targets here and there. AD Mitchell is going to be one of them. Who is going off today? Someone who's like, a number 2 or a number 3 on their team.
Okay.
I saw someone mention Mac Hollins here. That's an interesting one too.
Mac Hollins is interesting. Now, like, how gross are we talking?
Like Jalen McMillan or Ricky Pearsall.
So like
somebody
like a receiver in like the 40 to 60 range, not like somebody complete. Okay.
No, not somebody like super urine, but like somebody not that great. And I'm going to put Pearsall in as one of them because I think Pearsall could have a good game today.
Parker Washington's
not a bad one. That's not a bad shout.
Parker Washington.
Ricky Pearsall's plus 350 to go over 50 yards.
Oh, wait. You said dude, I have Pearsall as a top 35 receiver this week. Yeah.
I refuse to put Jalen Polk in any bets involving him doing anything.
Yeah, Pearsall's a good shout.
Bourne's not a bad shout. I don't mind that. Sterling Shepard's not a bad one too.
Hey, this might be even a little too high for like the expectations because I don't know what his yards line is at. I mean, if you want the all risk, all reward play, it's DeMarcus Robinson every fucking time.
Yeah, but he plays on Monday, so I don't want to do him.
Right. Fair. But dude, like he's either going for like 90 plus and 2 tugs or he's going for fucking 30 yards.
Yeah, that's the only in between with him.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson is plus 180.
TJ Hawkinson
to go over 50.
I like that.
I might do TJ Hawkinson as the last one. You know what? We're going to make it a 4. We're going to make it a 4 parlay. We're going to make some generational wealth here potentially.
Also, I mean, it's really close to score between me and Mason right now. He's up 55.4 to 50.8, and all it took is 3 of my players versus his 1.
That's funny.
Dude,
okay,
if Jalen Polk has 65 yards and a touchdown, the best board is he that sneaky advanced player?
He could be that sneaky advanced player. Okay, here's who I'm deciding between: Sterling Shepard, Mac Hollins, and let me see other games that we like. Someone said Pop Douglas, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin,
I
don't trust at all, so I'm not going to put Franklin in there.
Yeah, take a volume stat with Douglas though, because if you take like touchdown or something, it's probably not happening. But
yeah, I like Douglas to go over 50 today.
Hear me out, Jared. Really good shout. He's actually
Nick
pretty good.
Is not a bad one. That's a good sneaker.
I'm looking down.
You know what? I think Hawkinson's going to sell me. To be honest, I'm kind of nervous about it because he's playing limited role like snaps and stuff. I'm going to go Douglas.
He said no Tampa Bay players, you homer.
I won't do Shepard then. I'll keep Shepard out of it.
Yeah, Bush, it's pretty crazy. This year, you've been the bigger homer than I have. It's
Well,
kind
I
of
mean, it helps
wild.
when my team's good when they're healthy.
If we're adding when they're healthy, I mean, fuck, we've been not healthy all year.
I mean, you haven't, but like the 3 games you were, you still sucked.
We lost by fucking 3 to the
You got
Raiders. We got
rinsed
smacked by the.
Saints.
Oh, dude,
You
that
got
was an
rinsed
awful
by the
game.
Saints.
That was an awful game. But like, even so, like, we were still without an All-Pro corner from
Like
last year in that game.
we beat the Lions at the height of their power in Detroit. We are not the same.
Hey, bro, our healthy was even still without a All-Pro corner from last year because Deron Bland hasn't played a single game this year.
Okay, so this is what we got. We got A.D. Mitchell, Slick Rick, Demario Douglas, Noah Brown's a decent shot. I like that potentially as well. Let me take a look at what his is.
Pearsall over 59 for 3.58x is pretty enticing. I can't lie.
And who else? Yeah, we'll switch this over to Underdog in a second. We'll build out a pick 'em. I'm gonna put Noah. I like Noah Brown. I think that's a good shout. I'm gonna put Noah Brown in it.
No, Brown's a good shout. If we're even getting even guttier, like, hear me out. I still don't absolutely hate your boy Raheem Jarrett. He could have a little bounce
too
back.
gutty.
It's too gutty.
So, okay. Yeah. So Mitchell, Pearsall, Douglas, Noah Brown is going to pay $3,200 if it hits. So we're going to go over to Underdog and we're going to get this built out. Can you send the link to Spicy right now so we can maybe get this in under the gun?
Yeah. And worth noting, by the way, one more completely sexless gutty option, but also I'm not even just saying this because I fucking played with him, but what is John Mechie's line right now? Because I actually think Nico would help him.
Danny, you are John Mechie Cope whenever possible. Nobody, like, you know the meme that was like nobody, Danny, John Mechie's awesome. That's you. But anyways, we got 2 more questions in over on the site, both from B Fred here. I think they're just 2 different trades. So shout out to B Fred. We'll send you a voucher here. You spent 14 on both of these questions each, so we'll fire you one over there.
Sorry, real quick. Who plays Mechie or Hutchinson? If Nico is back, Nico will be in the Hutchinson role, and I think Mechie and Woods would split slot snaps.
I think the answer is Woods, to be honest. Mechie or Hutchinson, the answer is Woods.
Yeah, I mean, they're both kind of gross.
Ridley for Bucky and $10 Fab Bush. Ooh. See, Sal, Ridley's got like a sick playoff schedule. So like I'm kind of hesitant to bring that up.
Bro, you just said you were desperate at running back, starting Braylon now or some bullshit.
I did, but I also have to factor in that Bucky is on bye next week. So I'm gonna be in this same exact position a week from now.
Cheeky Sal, cheeky. I see you.
I like Ridley's playoff schedule a little bit too much, Sal, to be able to do this, to be honest.
Let me see.
Are you making playoffs? You're correct, but when I say I meant instead of playoff schedule, I meant rest of season schedule, including the playoffs, is what I meant. If you guys have Calvin Ridley, like go look at his matchups. They're the easiest thing in the history of life.
What just happened? Did Tracy just fumble? I didn't have the game on.
Yep, Tracy just fumbled to end the game.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And the Carolina Panthers are about to kick a game-winning field goal, probably.
You know what's hilarious about that is I actually the way I found out is I saw Mason yapping in chat that I checked the game and I saw he fumbled. I actually didn't even see it. Thank you, Mason. Appreciate you yapping and letting me look. Well, that's exactly what I needed when I'm already down fucking to Jamar Chase. My 3 players didn't even equal Jamar Chase.
Okay, let's quickly answer B Fred's questions here, because I want to build this one out with Spicy while we still have time. Okay, so Stroud, Aaron. Okay, that's his team. The trade here, it's a redraft league. You get Javonte and Puka for Jalen Waddle, Aaron Jones, and Dalton Kincaid. I think this is too much to pay, to be honest. Javonte doesn't move the needle at all. Waddle, Aaron Jones, and Kincaid are all pretty usable guys.
Yeah, I agree. I'm honestly, if that was like, what running back would that need to be, not Aaron Jones, to do it?
It's got to be like Najee or something.
Yeah, that's about where I'd agree.
I think Jones is too valuable there.
Send him another start sit voucher.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him one after the stream is over, just because I can
just do it right now.
The underdog question here. The underdog pick him.
What was it, B Fred?
Oh, did he send the same trade over twice?
Yes, I'm just gonna send him a start set question. He's an annual flopper as well.
Why the hell did it send over twice? Okay, well, appreciate you for donating twice, Beef Red, but we'll send you over a voucher so that you can send in another one.
Trade or
on the
start
house
sit?
there. Give him a start sit, I guess.
All right, sounds good. I sent you one.
Okay, so we should be caught up on those. Spicy, are you ready if we bring you in here? Okay, we got Spicy in the back seat here.
Real quick.
What's up?
We got to do this as well. We have not showed our slips, but actually, let's do it after.
Let's make a slip first.
Yeah, good point. And then show ours after. Hopefully, the Panthers fumble now. By the way.
Okay, is that a profit boost or is that NHL?
NBA only and NHL only.
Okay, gimme pick. Well, there is a gimme pick if you guys are NBA fans. If you want to build in an NBA entry, there is a profit boost token if you guys are hockey hosers like the two of us. So shout out to Underdog for that stuff. But let's go. Can we find 80 Mitchell immediately, Spicy? Because I wanna put some.
Tracy's crying on the bench, by the way.
Oh, that's fun.
No, he's crying on the bench because he fumbled. He's passionate. I like that. Accountable.
The Caleb Williams paints his nails people won't like that.
Bet a scorcher, bro.
Do we want a scorcher? Yeah, let's go 49.5.
Yeah, by the way, Underdog adding this is so fucking clutch.
It's so much more fun, yeah. Do we like Slick Rick too?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go Ricky Pearsall. Who was the other guy that I mentioned? I said Pearsall, Mitchell, Noah Brown, and who was the other one?
Where are his touchdown lines? Is that 3.38x that I'm seeing?
Oh, that's 2.28. I like receptions or yards. I do not like the touchdown.
Oh, good point. I'd take the reception.
Douglas is the other one. That's correct. Thank you, Gilly boy.
1.15 on the reception all day.
Yeah. Let's go. No, 1.15 on 2.5.
No. Yeah. It was 1.15 was the odds. Yeah.
Sorry about 2.5 receptions. Let's do it.
That was probably pretty confusing considering 1.5 was also literally right above it.
And then do we want to go pop or do we want to roll with the Noah Brown shout or do we want to do something completely different?
What's Pop's targets at? It is a tough matchup, but he gets fed, so I would be curious on his targets. Oh, nice. Does he just not have a pick'em? Oh, okay, dope.
His receptions 3.5.
3.5 receptions is tantalizing, dude. Can we even bump that up? Maybe
receptions.
You want to bump that to 4.5 and get the multiplier on it?
Yeah, we can do that. All
right, we'll do that then. 4.5, get the 1.64. Yeah, we take that. All right, dope. Pretty enticing. $10.
All right, I dig it. All right, so Spicy, if you want to lock that in for 10 bone.
How much does that pay? Probably like 48.
We got to move ourselves. Let's do standard. We're not flexing this one. It's a 2. We're going hard with this one, Spicy. Come on now.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused because I saw the max. That's why I said 48 something. But like, yeah, that would have made no sense. Also, did that say he has to verify? So he just refreshes and he'll be good. Okay. Dope. Yeah, we got you, Jelly Boy. Big Jelly Boy. All right, well, that Tracy fumble was pretty annoying because I need any points that I can get right now.
Yeah, my quest to pick every game this week, the money line, ends at 9:30 a.m. The first game, I had the money line of the Giants.
On the bright side, bro, them
$2 bet. Who cares?
Yeah, not for me because I'm a Cowboys fan. But if you are like a Malik bag holder, a Tracy bag holder, they just lost to the Panthers, and I believe that actually puts them above the Panthers in the draft order.
Yeah, that's tough. Spicy, if you want to he's got them all pulled up here. We can just go over them from here.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that then. So this is yours, I believe. So
this was mine, I think. I like Shakir to just have I'm sure that total is higher now that Cooper and Coleman are out. When I was talking about it, I think it was like 58.5, and Spicy was a little late on the draw, but we like Shakir to have a lot of yards. Ridley's got a good matchup. I like him to go higher than 54.5 yards.
Tell me how this makes sense real quick.
38.5 as well.
Sorry for cutting, but tell me how this makes sense real quick. His line went down to 63.5 after the news that Amari was out.
It went down
63.5 right now.
Oh, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying. Weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Sorry, I won't cut you off. Go
I
ahead.
already hit this one. So this was my running back one, and Tracy higher than 73.5 rushing yards was one of them. So that already hit. But if anybody wanted to tail the 2 stack of Hunt higher than rushing attempts there, he's been over that total in 4 straight games. Yeah. And then DeAndre Swift higher than receiving yards. He's been higher than that total in every game except for 2 this year. So I like those guys to get some volume there.
Yeah, that's a good one. They're probably the first 2 games now.
No, one was 3 weeks ago, and then the other one was the first game.
Fair enough. So I'll just quickly go through mine. I already kind of mentioned Rico Dowdle a little bit. He's been getting his routes up, 61% of the routes last week, 22% targets per route run on the year. And like I said, I expect the Cowboys to be underdogs in this game. They're 7.5 underdogs, point underdogs at home. They're probably going to be in a trailing game script. Again, I do think it's going to be relatively close. And I also think it's going to be a concerted effort from the play calling to get him the ball in space with the backup quarterback. So like that, Travis Kelce, 59.5 receiving yards. He's actually, I believe I actually got the stat in the last 5 games. He's averaging 73 receiving yards per game. And in the last 2 games, he has 14 receptions. So love the usage, especially when you give the context that DeAndre Hopkins is expected to face shadow from Patrick Surtain this week. So if Diop's going to have a bad game, if Surtain's going to be on him for the majority of the game, I expect their supplement of their passing game to come through Kelce. And then Brock Purdy, I mean, you're a Bucs fan. You could talk about your secondary in a second.
Yeah, we suck. We suck. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So there's that one. And then I'll quickly talk about my last one, which is the receivers. Garrett Wilson higher than 70.5 receiving yards. And this was actually a stat brought up from Ron. But since they acquired Devontae Adams, when you actually take the pure metrics for Garrett Wilson, his yards per route run alone went from, I believe, 1.7 to 2.6.
People said I was coping when I said he was good for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, it's ended up being that way.
Thankfully, I traded him to take advantage of that.
His target share as well, like even despite having a guy like Devontae Adams in the fold, has only gone down from 29% to 27%. So still an alpha, except he's getting more valuable targets with Adams on the field. And we know he's going to take cornerback 1 responsibilities based off how defenses are going to play them. So yeah, sorry.
Happy Breece Hall week. I think we might see a mentally ill Breece Hall stat line this week.
Can I convince you I'm 56 PPR points?
I would be so down, dude. My big dog team has already had Chuba go, and I could use a Breece Hall eruption as well.
And I'll quickly talk about these last couple as well here. Lab McConkey higher than 7.5 targets. I think I've repeated this stat so much, but pass funnel Titans defense, number 1 pass rate over expectation. Lab McConkey, 24% target share. I'm not going to completely rehash that again. And then Jordan Addison higher than 7.75 fantasy points. You mentioned the game environment, but the Vikings might hang 45 points on the Jaguars this week.
Yeah, I had 38.5 receiving yards higher for Addison too. So we're pretty much on the same page there. And then, yeah, this is the one that we just built out. It's a little bit spicier. We got Pearsall Mitchell and a Pop Douglas, a little bit lesser known guys there.
Sorry, having a worse record than the Panthers is grim. And we're about to be there, actually. Fuck. No, we're about to be there.
Devastating.
I think the Panthers are 3-6 right now. The Cowboys are 3-5 and probably 3-6.
Not great. Not great. Also, a quick shout out. We did just break down all of our underdog picks. If you guys want to tail any of the ones that you saw there, make sure to use promo code FSE to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash on your first deposit. As you also know, you get a free pick'em when you sign up on Underdog. If you're a new customer, you get the CJ Stroud free square that you could rope in. If you roped in that CJ Stroud free square to this 80 Mitchell psychotic pick that we have here, I mean, I got to imagine you're probably like 25xing your money if it ends up hitting. So that's definitely enticing. And also the weekly start sit rankings manifesto that we have is also free to you once you make a pick on the site and you use promo code FSE and you make your first deposit too. So if you do want our weekly rankings, you want to skip our live streams every morning, you can also check that out as well.
Also, I mean, I got to say this, if Brock is in the chat, we're preparing for the NFL. And I just want to mention one thing about college. We were able to obviously watch yesterday, Curtis Rourke and the Indiana Hoosiers take down Michigan, and they're undefeated right now, dude.
You suck, bro. What?
Indiana's undefeated.
No, you still suck, though, Michigan. You stink.
We lost 2015 on the road against a team that's probably going to be ranked in the top 5. But yeah, no, we do suck. I don't disagree, but yesterday probably isn't the best example of it. But watch Indianapolis, bro. It's going to be round 3. Joe Flacco's going to leave in the offseason. He's going to retire. He's going to go to, bumfuck nowhere, probably go pick some cornfields. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do, or whatever. I don't even think he's Western.
I don't even know where Joe Flacco. He was from
Delaware.
Delaware, yeah. Maybe it's Midwest. I think maybe no. I don't know shit about American geography. Don't yell at me. It's east. Okay, so what is it? Northeast? Is that where it is?
Probably
It's
like what?
near.
Like
Is it near like
Boston?
like it's kind of near Baltimore area where he
Probably
went to
Boston.
the
No,
NFL?
like Boston,
Okay. Either way, it's
Connecticut.
not the
E-
Midwest. Let's just put it that
e-
way.
Either way, right? So they're gonna lose that veteran, stable quarterback behind Anthony Richardson. Then they're gonna, in the third round, draft my boy Curtis Rourke to be Richardson's backup. It's gonna be week 4 next year. They're gonna turn to Rourke because Richardson has like 8 turnovers in the first 4 games, and then Rourke's gonna get them to the playoffs, Carson Wentz style, baby. Let's go.
We're gonna put a video on Danny's personal YouTube channel of him just yapping about the D-list
Guys I
NFLers
played against.
that he played with.
Laugh at fucking taking victory laps about players that don't play. Except
Curtis
for Chase
Rourke
Brown.
and John Mechie are going to be the 2 players of focus in that, and it's just going to be bad.
Yeah, yo, I
It's
sacked
bad
Curtis
content
Rourke
all
though.
around.
Just like Michigan did last night or yesterday. I sacked Curtis Rourke in the past. So
Spicy said, needless to say, there are no cornfields in Delaware.
yeah, no, that's a good point. Sorry, I hear Lucas talk all the time. I think cornfields are everywhere in the States.
No, he's in Iowa, which is in the Midwest.
No, I know. I'm trolling.
But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good week. Hopefully you get some W's. We need a win in the worst way for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are you doing?
Eat a W.
That was fucking pulling trig, not eating a W. That was pulling trig. Someone please tell me that's not what
I might have to after this week with what Chase is doing to me.
Yeah. Also, call any 2-minute takeaways from college football yesterday. Jackson Dart beat Georgia, so that was my big takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, is there how many actual good fucking colleges are there this year, bro? How many good college football teams?
It would be the year that we extend the playoff field, where there's like always 2 good teams that don't get in when there's like good college football teams, and there's like 3 good teams in college football this year, and we have a 12-man playoff now.
Yeah, by the way, spicy trig is short for trigger.
Yeah, pulling trig is like if you're out at a bar or something and you know you're gonna have to yak at some point and you just pull trig on it.
Oh yeah. No,
I mean it's in other contexts as well, but that's the context I know it in.
Yeah, well, that context, you call it pulling trig, I call it puke and rally. Like when I was at Guelph, buddy, we'd be puking and rallying midday and then still keep drinking. We're going.
As I get older, I realize how psychotic some of the things that we did as teenagers was.
Well, dude, I remember we had a morning live stream before Guelph homecoming that one year, right? I don't know. I think it was 2020 or 2021. So we did the live stream or we did the video in the morning. And this is at like 9 or 10 a.m. I had all the boys coming over for homecoming. Went to shower right after the video. Drank like 4 beers in the shower. Shotgun 4 shower beers. Came out. Got like blackout, right? Then I remember I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good. My buddy's like, just go on the balcony, a little puke and rally action. I rip it out there, get it right out, and keep going.
Yeah. Thankfully, I mean, when we started this channel, I was 22, so I was out of the game.
I was 20
for a couple of years after that. I'm not a big drinker anymore, and I honestly wasn't a huge one back like when I was 19, 20. And here's why Canada's better. Also, when Mason talks about why the U.S. is better all the time, you guys have freedom and all this bullshit. I don't know if he knows this, but we have freedom as well. Like it's not.
I think it's pretty free that I can go around the corner and get a weed pen if I want. It doesn't sound like the states can do that.
Well, I mean, certain states can, the thing that's the best about Canada is that we can drink in bars at 19 and you guys have to wait till 21. Because to be honest, by the time I was 21, I didn't really have any desire to do that. When I was 19 was when I had the desire to do it.
Well, I got fucked. You know what happened? I turned 19 and then 8 months later, the world was freaking turned around.
Yeah, the world was shut down well after my bar days, thankfully. So that was nice. I did miss my graduation of college though, which kind of sucked, but whatever. I studied accounting. Like nobody was interesting in my program. There was 3 or 4 guys that I hung out with and that was it.
Dude, you mentioned your graduation. In high school, I no-showed my graduation 2 years in a row. So I was supposed to graduate, but I basically dropped out of school. Then the next year when I came back, because I took 12 plus, because obviously I dropped out basically in grade 12, came back in 12 plus, I would show up just to take tests. And I'm pretty sure I finished that year with like a 96 average or a 95 average and literally would just write tests. Yeah, it's sneaky flex, but like I told my teachers, I'm like, because this is when I was like 300 pounds. I'm like, listen, like in the morning, like I got training at this time because I had a personal trainer at the time. Training at this time every fucking day, pretty much. I was 5 days a week. Like, is there any accommodation we can make? And they're like, as long as this day, this is going to be the test day. We're going to make sure like all my like my teachers were on coordinates with that. And I finished that year literally, like I said, with like a 94 or 95 average around there. And
there you go.
Didn't show up to graduation.
Yeah. Well, we had online graduation for my college, so I wasn't trying to go to that shit. But anyway, we got the games are on. Enjoy the games, fellas. Hopefully we get some people recovering from the Jamar Chase bomb and hammer that was dropped on me and Danny this past Thursday night. Rooting hard against our FSC guys. Mason, the only person in the United States that thinks they're the only country with freedom. Shout out to you. But we are going to head out of here with the disrespect. Peace out. We'll talk to you guys.
Real quick. I expect a written apology.
Yes, I do. I expect a written apology. It was the grammar that they teach in the United States that Mason used. So appreciate you guys for tuning in.
So.